India has imbibed sustainability in a big way. From last year, India has already made sustainability reporting for top 1,000 listed companies by market cap mandatory. Probably at this scale, there is no other country in the world to have this. Plus, kudos to the Security Exchange Board of India. From this year, even the reasonable assurance of top 150 companies on ESG has been made mandatory. Worldwide, there is a limited assurance which is mandatory, and that too selectively. India taking a giant leap, making reasonable assurance mandatory, that will bring in a lot of discipline. So I am really very, very positive on the Indian corporate sector as far as ESG reporting is concerned. So this will happen when their investor, when their consumer demand for it. For example, if the consumer says, we will buy products only of a company which is sustainable. Similarly, when investor says we'll invest money only in those companies who are adopting sustainable practices. So we will have to look at a combination of mandatory and voluntary both. SEBI has given guidelines for voluntary compliances also. Not many companies have come forward for that, but I'm very optimistic that companies will come forward, and this will happen when all these stakeholders demand this. There should be a system of incentivizing. So while there are some incentives, but to reach to a volume, to economies of scale, incentives have to be really meaningful. And once we reach the masses or the economies of scale, then the cost will significantly go down. And that is the day, when consumers will voluntarily adopt it. As of now, if I look at, if we want to leave something for our children, we should mandatorily adopt it, because what will our children do if there is no flora, no fauna, and there is nothing? So I think it is mandatory from that perspective, but yes, consumers will recognize it when there are incentives and when the cost is saved. Today, by August 15, we consume the Earth's annual resources. So in 7.5 months, we consume annual resources, means we are borrowing from next year. We are borrowing from our future generations. This all of us will have to understand, whether it is the business or the society. As far as the businesses are concerned, I think business needs to understand one thing. They will cease to exist if their products are not sustainable. They will not be able to hire people if they are not adopting sustainable practices. They will not be able to sell anything if their products are not sustainable. So it is in the interest of the business, and I think that realization is coming fast, that there is no alternative. We don't have a planet B. We have to live in this planet, and we have to live it sustainably.